Hi, I'm Liz Mercogliano, and today I want to talk to you through a theory based on the French business professor J.D. Kapferer and his brand identity Prism, and how it is a good example of how both brand and design principles can play a role in the success of business today. Firstly, let's define service design 101. As you will see in this chart, it's the customer journey meeting the business through what we call props, people, and processes. Think of it as a way, in this way, if a product design shapes what something is, service design shapes how an experience works from start to finish. So service design, which is influenced by the brand strategy, becomes what we call an intentional design. And that's an intentional design of every interaction, process and touch point in a service. And this is shaped not just to work well, but it's consistently expressed who you are as an organisation and how you want people to feel at every step. And this is why this theory works. Developed in the 90s, this was a framework, the Kapferer brand identity Prism was a framework most branding and design agencies use when working with business leaders. If we look at all the 6 different dimensions here, we've got the Physique, the physical logo, relationship, which is building trust, reflection, which is your perception of what the ideal customer is, and that's an external sort of footprint. And then we've got the internal different dimensions. So we've got the personality, which is the expressive of your voice, your culture, which is the values, So this is where we introduce the brand belief chain framework. It still works with the 6-dimension brand identity, however, includes sender and receiver views and works to ensure brand belief can be made. It's what we call a combination of service design and brand strategy. And this is the gap between what the brand says and what it actually does, which then defines trust. And therefore, it determines if the belief chain can hold or break. How does this work for brands today? Well, through applying their service design principles and processes, you can close that loop and you can ensure that the brand strategy is landing exactly as intended. So let's look at a case study example for a Patagonia clothing brand. So we look at the different ways we can apply the brand belief chain and what they represent. So step 1 is what the staff believe. So the Patagonia mission of the planet makes more than profit is not just a slogan. Staff genuinely live it, and that is a belief that is why they stay. And for example, they attend climate rallies in work hours. Patagonia is known as essentially adventure wear, and it does make a big point of supporting climate activism. So step 2 is how that belief shows up. So the customers see and feel the values in every interaction. So for example, they have repair programs to honest campaigns, and the stores act as community activism hubs. So let's look at step 3 and what the world thinks. That authenticity has made Patagonia one of the most trusted and talked about brands in the world without relying on advertising. They're seen as an activism movement, not just a clothing brand. So KPMG listed this brand as the top 3 US customer experience in 2024 to 25. So what does this look like in what we call the feedback loop? Well, what customers say publicly feeds back into the organisation and reinforces that internal culture. So the chain keeps churning. What they did differently? Well, the mission belongs to everyone, not just the marketing, and the business was built around that, not the other way around, which is quite unique, I guess. What customers feel as a result? Well, people walk away feeling like the brand genuinely shares their values, and that feeling is what brings them back. Why does this work? Well, if we look at the vision of the planet matters more than profit, This runs through every single dimension simultaneously, and the staff experience and the customer experience are designed to identically have those values. Well, that takes us to the end of the presentation. My name is Liz Mercogliano. Thanks for listening.